Hello YouTube viewers, we're going to do the balancing today. We're going to use our older balancer, Sun balancer, and we're going to balance a tire. Okay, so we're going to do a steel rim. We're not going to do aluminum rim, we're going to do a steel rim. In fact, when you're using the steel rim, you're supposed to have the spring in first. Okay, the spring is supposed to go in, and then you have to have the right size cone. There are different size cones. You need to find this cone that fits into the center. Okay, that cone goes on, and then the tire goes on. But what we're going to do is we're not going to use and tire goes on, sorry, and then this locking device goes on the outside. But we are not going to use the spring. We are not going to use this cup that goes on the outside. Okay, so we're going to eliminate these two. We're just going to use a cone. We have different size cones here depending on the tire that you're using. Make sure you don't mix the cones from the two machines. They're both different machines. So we have cones here. Pick the one that fits in the center of the rim. Okay, so we have this. We know that goes in. Here we go. Okay, so that's in the rim, and we are going to start mounting the rim on the machine now. Okay, so we're ready to put the tire on. Same thing, make sure you're not using your back when you're lifting tire. Get help if you need to. Use your legs. Okay, put the tire on. Get the cone, and this time the cone is going to go facing in. Okay, in reality, as I said earlier, if we're using all this, then the cone is on the inside, it comes out, but we're putting the cone on the outside. Put the cone in, lift the tire so it goes in the middle. We're going to lock it with a speed nut. So this one you can just push it in as far as you can, spin the speed nut, tighten it up, and we're ready to balance. So first thing, we need to take the old weights off. So the way the weight comes off is, use this hammer. Let's call this a beak. It looks like a beak. So that beak will go into this slot. So put that in the slot. Other side will hold the weight on the bottom. So exactly like this, and then you pry it downwards. So I'm going to take that off now. So we put that in there. We hold the weight at the bottom, and then we're prying it downwards, and our weight comes off. Okay, we're going to do that on the inside. Okay, we're ready to take the inside weight off. Same deal, that goes into the slot. Hold the weight on the other side, pry it downwards, and our weight comes off. Next, we have to tell the machine three things. We have to tell the machine how far is the tire sitting from the machine. We have to tell the how wide it is. So there's the first one, there's the second one, and then what's the rim diameter. So first thing we do is press this button, and sorry, it's not a touch screen, it's old school, so press that, and we need to punch in numbers here. We bring the scale out, it's right here on the side. Bring that scale out, and it has to be touching right where the bead is. Okay, this is where half my students were messing up. It has to go there. You can't be on here, you can't be on the tire. Make sure it is right here. Okay, so, and then we read how far did the scale come out. So in this case, we have big numbers, we have small numbers, so it came out 3, that's right there, the big 3, and 8. So we're going to punch in 3, 8. We're going to punch in 3, 8. So now we're going to press the second button. So we need to tell the machine how wide is the tire. So we take this scale and we put it on both sides, same spot, okay, on the bead. Not here, not here. Don't put it, it has to go here. And then just look at what numbers, where is this pointy part? Right here. The pointy part is at 7. So we are going to punch in 7. Okay. Next we're going to press the rim diameter. So press that button, and the way you find the rim diameter is you have to look up on the tire. So you'll see set of numbers and letters like this. So this represents 215 represents how wide the tire is. This tire is 215 millimeter wide. 60 represents the aspect ratio, which is how high this is. So basically aspect ratio means the profile is 60% of 215. R stands for it's a radial tire, and this 16 tells us the diameter of the rim in inches. So this particular rim is 16 inch, or the tire is 16 inch. So we come in here and we press 16, and now we're ready to balance. Once we have all three numbers punched in, bring the hood down. Please bring it down gently, just don't drop it. It goes out of calibration. So close the hood, and then we're going to press start. Once we press start, the tire is going to start spinning. Okay, let it spin. Wait for it to come to stop. Okay, once it stops, it's going to tell us how much weight it's going to take on either side. It's going to take 0.25 on the left side. It's going to take 1 ounce on the right side. So this is 1/4 ounce, that's 1 ounce. Generally, for my students, I don't let them put 0.25 on because I'm just afraid they're going to hit their fingers when they're putting the weight on. But in reality, you should put the amount, what they're asking for. In our shop, this is where we keep our weights, and I've divided them in two. The top ones, the ones that have black numbers written all over, they are for steel rims, and the ones with the yellow, they are for aluminum rims. I'll show you what the difference is. So for now, what we need is a 1/4, 0.25. So we're going to take 0.25. Okay, 0.25, and just don't trust what you like. Teenagers rarely put stuff back where it belongs. So just make sure that you read what it says on the weight. So we're going to grab one from the one, and let's see. So this one reads 1 ounce right here. Okay. So the difference between the weights for steel rim versus aluminum rim. So here's our aluminum rim. Here's our steel rim. It's the hook. So these both weights. So I'm going to put them down here. You can see that these both weights are 1 ounce. So it says 1 ounce there, it says 1 ounce right there. So they're both 1 ounce, but the main difference is the hook. So if you could see the size of the hook, this is for aluminum, the bigger hook, and this is for steel rim, a smaller hook. Okay, so let's lift it up and see if we could see it from the side. So there we go, you can see the difference between the two weights. And the whole reason behind that is, if you look at the lip where the weight is going to go, look at the thickness of this versus this one. So a smaller hook weight goes on steel rim, a bigger hook will go on aluminum rim. Open the hood. Again, don't just chuck it, just slowly, gently let it get up. Okay, so now we have to see where the weight is going to go. And the way you find that out is if you spin the tire, see the numbers are changing here. So we need to take, so we're going to deal with this one first. So we'll spin it until we see 0. So there we go, we have a 0. That tells us that the weight has to go at 12 o'clock. Our 1 ounce weight that we brought, it's going to go at 12 o'clock. And the way you put the weight in is, so it goes, you set the hook like this. Make sure you're watching your fingers. Hammer it. Get that on. Okay, we're going to do the inside now. Same thing, spin this until we have 0. There we go. That's our 0. We're going to take our weight. This is the reason I don't want my students to use a 0.25 because I'm afraid they're going to hit their finger just because it is so small. So put the weight at 12 o'clock. Watch your finger if you're attempting this. hammer it on. So we're going to bring the hood down. Okay, slowly bring the hood down. We're going to press the start, and we should see all zeros here if the tire is properly balanced. If it's reading 0.25, I'm not concerned about that. Okay, I'm not so worried about that. So let's press start. As long as it's reading all zeros or 0.25, I'm happy. Okay, there you go. So it's reading all zeros and our tire is balanced. Thank you again for watching our channel.